On the news tonight, House of Representatives asks Central Bank of Nigeria not to obtain social media handles from customers for CDD regulations. NDLEA clamped down on the use of laughing gas. And FCTA visit agric warehouses, promises bumper harvest.
Thanks for joining the evening news on Nta Channel 5 Abuja, the Unity Station. My name is Aisha Ubali. The House of Representatives has asked the Central Bank of Nigeria to halt the implementation of its policy directing banks to obtain the social media handles of customers as part of enhanced customer due diligence (CDD) regulations. This followed a joint motion moved by Minority Leader of the House of Representatives, Kingsley Chinda. The House noted that laudable as the CBN policy may appear, it would exclude many Nigerians, especially rural entrepreneurs who are not on social media, from formal banking and also exert pressure on the citizenry. The House mandated its Committee on Banking and Currency, when constituted, to investigate the matter within 3 weeks and report back for further legislative action. National Assembly correspondent Mitare reports that the Green Chamber at Tuesday's plenary also passed a resolution directing the National Universities Commission to suspend the implementation of increase in tuition fee by federal universities. Away from the legislature now, the inadequate representation of women in decision-making has continued to give room for more advocacy and engagement of gender inclusion in governance in both at national and global space, to pave way for wider reach and create avenue for women across all borders in politics. These were agitations of members of University of Abuja Women Association on the theme Gender Inclusion in Governance and Decision-Making in Nigeria. Cecilia Julius has that report.
The event, in addressing the team, X-rays and proposed solution to the neglect of women fully in governance, while making recommendation for more women participation in various sectors. Key speakers, while expounding on the day's focus, advocate an end to gender disparity and addressing all barriers that put women at the edge.
Given that Nigerian women constitute over 50% of the population, we wanted to see a 50-50 representation, or even a minimum of 35% representation of women as prescribed by the National Gender Policy.
It should not be a situation that a woman is trying to seek a high position and is another woman that is trying to pull them down. To me, I personally believe that that should be shameful. A woman, we should be able to count on each other to say that, oh, if I look behind, there's another woman, and they're going to champion and they're going to tell me to keep on going.
It's telling women not to sit down and be relaxed. When positions come up for grabs, women should also contest for those positions.
Vice Chancellor, University of Abuja, Professor Abdurrashid Na'ala, while lending support to the women, frowned at the high rate of sexual harassment bedeviling the higher learning domain.
Women are actually, if they're not the majority, they're equal. I mean, they're powerful. They're powerful. And I want to say other universities in the nation should take example from what we do here in Abuja.
Award presentations were made to women who have made immense contribution to society. Cecilia Julius, NTA News.
In the meantime, the NDLEA has directed all commands and formation of the agency to begin an immediate clampdown of illegal sale and use of nitrous oxide, otherwise known as laughing gas, following its abuse by people who use it for recreational purposes. The decision to clamp down on those involved in illegal sale and use of nitrous oxide follows analysis of the effect on those who abuse the substance. The rainy season comes with benefits and challenges to humans and the environment. It has become imperative that the motoring public are careful when plying the highway and should take heed to adequately maintain their vehicles. Cecilia Julius identifies physical area which motorists must comply with in the rainy season and beyond.
The need for proper maintenance of vehicles constantly and periodically cannot be overemphasized, especially as the rainy season is at its peak. Drivers in the FCT relayed their experience on driving during the rains.
It's very difficult driving during the rain because the clothes will be wet. The glass will be fainty somehow. The next time you cannot be seen far. Secondly, if it is in the night, it will be more difficult because the headlamp, there is no way the headlamp will be shining as supposed to shine in the daytime.
If you are experienced, you don't apply so much speed when it is raining. So you move on a normal speed that you can control.
So what I usually do, once it's raining, I'll put up the AC and it will dry my glass and clear the glass. I'll be able to drive.
I don't drive heavily when rain is falling heavily. I will usually park. After it subsides, then I pick up. Yes, but driving on high rate of rain, very, very dangerous.
Relevant authorities advise the motoring public on how best to navigate during this season.
Drivers driving in the rain, especially when the rain is falling, first of all, we must ensure that our wipers are working fine. And for those who have air conditioners in their cars, that's the time to use the air conditioners because normally you have a clearer view. Apart from that, you also needed to have your tires, changed, because what actually makes a car to brake is the grip between the road and the tires. And once the tire marks are worn out, the tendency is, even when you brake, you have a longer stopping distance. And if it's too heavy, just find a very, very convenient place and park until the rain subsides. Then you can proceed on your trip.
You don't have to drive against, traffic. You don't have to overspeed. You don't have to park, your vehicle in an unauthorized space. All these things are very clear in our regulations.
They warn that vehicles with poor beaming lights, faulty fog lights, and bad tires will be impounded, while drivers who go against road signs will be arrested. Cecilia Julius, NTA News.
On the issue of revenue, the Federal Capital Territory Administration has expressed readiness to begin harmonization of revenue collection in the FCT. FCT Permanent Secretary Olushade Adeshola, who stated this at a town hall meeting in Abuja, says it is with a view to wooing local and international investors and ensuring ease of doing business. Onoze Yakubu has that report.
The town hall meeting by the FCT Internal Revenue Service with the theme Harmonization Drive, Sharing Our Future Together is to engage relevant stakeholders ahead of full implementation of the initiative in the FCT. FCTA Permanent Secretary Olushade Adeshola says this initiative will address cases of double taxations and reduce bureaucratic bottlenecks, as well as ensure equity and fairness in revenue collection in the FCT.
32 of the 30 states of the Federation have harmonized their revenue collection, and we cannot afford to remain a laggard and outcast. Hence, let me emphasize from the onset that all the revenues to be collected will go directly to the coffers of government to provide services for our people. The payment of revenues of government into private account is no longer in vogue. Do you agree with me? Thank you.
We can only develop if we can collect revenue, if we can have taxes, and then these taxes are paid, and then we can use those taxes to develop the FCT. And I'm proud to say that with proper harnessing of taxes, we after Lagos will be the next.
Chairman of the FCT Internal Revenue Service, Haruna Abdullahi, explains that the harmonization drive is duly backed by extant laws and regulations, which will ensure transparency and accountability in the system.
The Federal Capital Territory Internal Revenue Service Act entrusts us, the FCT IRS, with the duty to collaborate with relevant stakeholders and agencies in harmonizing and improving our tax practices. This is aimed at optimizing our revenue generation efforts while ensuring simplicity, transparency, and accountability in all our systems.
Contributions from the area council chairmen and other critical stakeholders signify willingness to implement the harmonization drive of revenue collection in the FCT. They, however, appeal that grey areas be addressed for seamless operation of the initiative. Onoze Yakubu, NTA News.
Similarly, the chairman, Abuja Municipal Area Council, Christopher Zaka Mekelangu, has aligned with the FCT IRS proposed harmonization drive of revenue collection in the territory on the condition that the implementation process should begin with some agencies of the FCTA. Mekelangu made his position known at a town hall meeting on revenue harmonization in Abuja. Deborah Gazajimaika completes the report.
The town hall meeting is with a view to fostering understanding on the proposed revenue drive in the FCT. Chairman of the 6 area councils also concedes to the revenue harmonization, but expects the drive with fairness and equity.
Harmonization, the way it is not wrong, but I'm only against the process of harmonization. What am I trying to say? Because in AMAC, we have so many revenue points that I have wished the FCTIRS should start by the little ones we have. That is, starting in phase by phase. We have conflict with environmental. And I believe at this point, we should harmonize the environmental aspect.
There are some revenue heads that are statutory meant for the area councils, which is the responsibility of the area council to collect that revenue, which does not concern the FCT harmonization. We have our own sub-heads of revenue that the area council are liable to collect without bringing it to the FCT IRS for collection.
Other stakeholders, including traditional rulers, want a transparent process, stressing that with proper harnessing of taxes and appropriate structure in place, revenue leakages will be eradicated.
It will be fair and very open if your secretariat will hand over those 2 agencies to what do you call it, FRS, so that the area council can see the reality in what they are doing.
AMAC chairman, who says government depends on taxes to provide services for the citizens, promised to continue to support all people's-oriented programs of the FCT tailored towards bringing developments. Deborah Gazajimaika, NTA News.
Meanwhile, it is projected that the world population will hit 8.6 billion by 2030 and 9.8 billion by 2050, according to United Nations. This underscores the importance of accurate census for proper planning. Ifoma Ojinta in this report put these issues in perspective as the World Population Day is observed.
Research puts the world population at 8 billion humans moving on the earth with limited resources. According to United Nations, approximately 83 million people are being added to the world population daily. In this regard, overpopulation remains a worry as it is linked with global warming, resource depletion, malnutrition, and possible spread of deadly disease.
When we conduct the census and have the data, it will advise political decisions. It will make us know how many people are educated, how many are women, how many are girls, how many are adolescents, how many are in the working age population, how many are educated. How many are employed or unemployed? What's the migration status? How many people live in the rural area and how many people are in the urban cities? It will tell us a lot of, will give us a lot of information that can advise development.
It is for this reason that the World Population Day draws attention of the public towards the need to curb overpopulation and work towards accuracy.
We are living in fear of population explosion. If we look at the population of Nigeria, and if we look at the placement in the world population, it is, if we say that Nigeria may be the 4th largest or 3rd largest population, that portends a lot of trouble and danger for us, because we are not sure whether we are prepared for the upsurge in that population. That becomes inevitable that the census should be allowed to hold so that the figures we give government will assist in planning.
The 2023 World Population Day has as its theme Unleashing the Power of Gender Equality. Experts in the population subsector say Nigeria is committed to achieving gender equality and conducting a credible 2023 population and housing census for national planning and development. Ifoma Ojinta, NTA News.
Nigeria Olympians Association presents the second banquet and award ceremony in Harna. This would be the largest gathering of Nigeria's best sporting personalities since the 1950s to date, converging from all across the globe. Date is 13th July 2023. Venue Shehu Musa Yaradua Center, Abuja. Red carpet starts at 5 p.m. while the main event starts at 6:30 p.m. Guest of honor Joel Buzu OLY, President of the World Olympians Association. Chief host Engineer Habu Gumel, President of the Nigeria Olympic Committee NOC. Host Olumide Oyedeji OLY, President of the Nigeria Olympians Association. Royal Father of the Day, His Royal Majesty Alayeluwa Obasahida Demola Elegushi Kushenla III, Elegushi of Ikate Kingdom. The Nigerian Olympians Banquet and Award Ceremony is proudly supported by Adrian Holmes, UNFPA, World Olympians Association, Brilla 88.9 FM, Value Jet, Eagle 7 FM, FCT Administration, and Air Peace.
Up next is Sports Brief.
Aqua United have secured a 1-0 win against rivals Rivers United in match day 2 of the Niger Super 8, played yesterday at Mobolaji Johnson Arena, Lagos. In another development, Super Eagles striker Taiwo Awoniyi has expressed optimism that Nigeria has all it takes to win the 2023 African Cup of Nations in Ivory Coast. Recall that Nigeria sealed qualification for the tournament with a game to spare after defeating Sierra Leone 3-2 last month. From basketball, Nigeria's D-Tigers have been drawn to face Gabon in the classification of the ongoing African qualifier on Wednesday at 1 p.m. Meanwhile, Nigerian boxers are to resume camping ahead Paris 2024 Olympics trials in Lagos. Secretary General of the Nigerian Boxing Federation, Akinyele Oladapo, made a call to the pugilists to report in camp on Thursday, 18th July 2023. With Sports Brief, Hakimat Aliu, NTA News.
That was the news in English, and coming up next is translations. Good evening.
Yuzo kwa wei nwona iwo abedazaza ishandaje zuma woniye wa governor Antuko tige atajin ajinlo nu ayinkoza ibede chowon nu gwamnatin okone jin bayin la baba chi obu nu ogbe kunsun kunkun ya nge ajin kunsun bedan ba be nu peye de na nu gwamnati Cecilia Julius wona da shi ba webe na bada wa nganga aba akpekale yin nu gbedogun ayin ko zanu ayi pe zan ba na manya ba jin da akin sun dan be da ce sa be jin ye shi ce na nu akin sun dan ba nganga na jin ajin kunsun bai akin sun dan bada ko atun jin bai ba nganga aba ku ba zo akanwa ba jege bala ogbe bedo mai kakara nu agadu goba nu abwazei ona ze yakubu ona le sheba webe na bedai wa gan gan ya kan kai pe ya nu a gwamnati atane jimba olu sade adesola woni dade sane jinye jije na ye nanu okin sinna o yin gan aye a jinranu na bage yaku gbẹ̀ngbẹ̀n nu atyaje han abwaze ba mbuji ba jimba wo fafa nu abwaze ba nanu okin sinna bede onko atane jimba ba nage ba mpache na mwana na lo nu yeleye ba yege afani ba ku afa ayabwa onmwa na bai ajin apa nchei ifain ozumba wona le sheba webe na bedai wagenge ababwa shi nya kaya nsopa ofanya Ishak Abubakar wone dade nsayin we bisheba bedon wazai nanu a gwamnati bibi kun tnan e celele nanu a kin zinde wonge aba nu aku afa a kaya aya jin omaje abo baba ole lainu saisu
masu kallo da sauraron mu assalamu alaikum barkanmu da warhaka ga labaran mu ne a takaice mai karantawa Yusuf Yakubu. An bayyana rashin samun wakilcin mata a gwamnatocin ƙasa da na duniya a matsayin abin da yake buƙatar faɗakarwa da wayar da kan al'umma domin rage tazarar da ke tsakanin jinsin maza da mata wajen riƙon madafun ikon ƙasa. Wakilar Cecilia Julius ta shaida mana cewa wannan shine korafin mata 'yan ƙungiyar mata ta jami'ar Abuja wadda aka yi mata take da sanya jinsin mata a gwamnatoci da madafun ikon ƙasa. Hukumar birnin tarayya ta bayyana shirinta na fara bunƙasa karɓar haraji a nan birnin tarayya Abuja. Wakilin Shaibu Onuze Yakubu ya shaida mana cewa sakataren dindindin na hukumar birnin tarayya Olushade Adeshola shine ya bayyana haka a taron jin ra'ayin al'umma a nan birnin Abuja, inda ya kara da cewa sun ƙudiri niyyar yin haka ne domin su yi nazari akan harkokin masu sanya hannun jari na cikin gida da na waje domin sama musu sauƙin yadda za su gudanar da harkokin kasuwancinsu a sauƙaƙe cikin nasara. Hukumar birnin tarayya ta ɗauki tsauraran matakan tabbatar da cewa manoma a nan birnin Abuja sun samu damuna mai albarka. Wakilar mai ifayin ezumba ta labarta mana cewa makaddashin sakataren hukumar noma da raya karkara ta hukumar birnin tarayya Abuja Ishaq Abubakar Sadiq shine ya bayyana haka, inda ya tabbatarwa da manema labarai cewa haka a lokacin da suka kai ziyara rumbun kayan noma na kananan hukumomin Abuja 6. Ƙarshen labaran namu ne kenan, sai kuma gobe idan Allah ya kai mu. Allah ta shi mu lafiya.
ekele gị n'ịnọnyere anyị n'akụkọ ụwa nke taa. Aha m bụ Rachel Ifi unu gere akụkọ ụwa n'uju ya. Enweghị ezigbo ọnụọgụgụ ụmụ nwanyị n'ọchịchị nakwa na ihe banyere mmebi iwu abụrụla ihe mere ha ji arịọ ka etinyekwuo ha na ọchịchị n'ihi na ọ ga-enyere ha aka n'ala anyị nakwa mba ndị ọzọ gbara gburugburu. Onye ọrụ anyị Cecilia Julius wetara akụkọ na nke a so n'ihe otu jikọrọ ụmụ nwanyị na mahadum ala anyị dị n'isi ala anyị kwuru na nzukọ ha were nke isiokwu ya bụ itinye mmadụ niile n'ọchịchị na mmebe iwu na ala anyị. Gọọmenti isi ala anyị ekwuola na ha adịla njikere ịmalite ime ka onye ọbụla sonye n'ịtụ ụtụ isi na isi ala anyị. Onoze Yakubu wetara akụkọ na onye odeakwụkwọ gọọmenti isi ala anyị Olushade Adeshola bụ onye kwupụtara nke a n'ụlọ nzukọ dị na isi ala anyị, mekwara ka anyị mata na nke a ga-enyere ndị oji ego achụ ego n'ala anyị na mba ndị ọzọ aka ịzụ ahịa ha n'ụzọ kwesịrị ekwesị. Gọọmenti isi ala anyị etinyela uchu n'ihu na ndị ọrụ ugbo na isi ala anyị kọtara ugbo n'ụzọ buru ibu. Ifeanyi Ezumba wetara akụkọ na onye nnọchianya onye odeakwụkwọ n'ihe banyere ọrụ ugbo na mmepe obodo Ishaq Abubakar Sadiq kwere nkwa mgbe ọ gara n'ogige ebe a na-edobe akụkụ n'okpuru ọchịchị isii dị na isi ala anyị. Igbo Igbo ọgwụla ka ọha anyị n'ọnụ. Ndewo.
dédé ìwòye ìròyìn iléeṣẹ́ amóhùnmáwòrán ìkànnì karùn-ún ti ìlú Àbújá ló ń dé sí etí ìgbọ́yín láti ẹnu Mọ́bọ́lájí Mátì. Àìtó àwọn obìnrin nínú ètò ìṣèjọba ló ń fi àyè gba pípè tí wọ́n ń pè, èyí tó mú wọn ń béèrè fún ìgbésẹ̀ tí yóò mú wọn kópa lọ́pọ̀ nínú ètò ìṣèjọba láti òkè dé ìsàlẹ̀. Alákòjọpọ̀ ìròyìn Cecilia Julius ròyìn wípé ọ̀rọ̀ yìí ni ẹgbẹ́ àwọn obìnrin ti ilé ẹ̀kọ́ gíga ìlú Àbújá jíròrò lé lórí láti lè ṣe àgbékalẹ̀ àwọn ìlànà tí yóò mú àwọn obìnrin rí àǹfààní tó dúró gidi nínú ètò òṣèlú yíká. Ìjọba ìlú Àbújá sọ bí òun ti ṣetán lórí ìgbésẹ̀ tí òun yóò máa fi gba owó ilẹ̀ ní Àbújá. Alákòjọpọ̀ ìròyìn Onoze Yakubu ròyìn wípé ọ̀gá àgbà iléeṣẹ́ ìjọba ìlú Àbújá Olúṣadé Adéṣọyá ló gbé ọ̀rọ̀ náà kalẹ̀ níbi ìpàdé tó wáyé ní ìlú Àbújá. Ó ṣe àfikún ọ̀rọ̀ rẹ̀ wípé ìgbésẹ̀ náà wáyé láti lè fa àwọn oníṣòwò nílé lóko láti wá ṣòwò àti láti rí i wípé wọ́n ṣòwò láìsí ìyọnu lórígun mẹ́rin ìlú Àbújá. Ìjọba ìlú Àbújá ti gbé ìgbésẹ̀ tó dára láti rí i dájú wípé àwọn àgbẹ̀ lórígun mẹ́rin ìlú Àbújá jẹ àǹfààní èrè oko lọ́pọ̀lọpọ̀. Alákòjọpọ̀ ìròyìn Ifeanyi Ezumba ròyìn wípé àsọdájú náà wáyé látẹnu adelé ọ̀gá àgbà iléeṣẹ́ ètò ọ̀gbìn àti ìgbèríko Ishaq Abubakar Sadiq lásìkò ìrìn àjò àbẹ̀wò rẹ̀ sí àwọn ilé ẹrù ètò ọ̀gbìn tó ń bẹ ní ìjọba ìbílẹ̀ mẹ́fẹ̀ẹ̀fà ní ìlú Àbújá. Kì í dùn kó pọ̀ ṣé ó ní ọbẹ̀ oge títí ìwòye ọ̀la Ojúmọ́ Ire ni yóò mọ́ wa.